Welcome to Familiar Territory, an anime podcast hosted by two white dudes who've been friends for over 15 years. Here we talk about the history and influence of anime, as well as review anime new and old. So grab your talking cap and transform into some comfy clothes as we step into a familiar territory. My name is Grant.
And I'm Brantley. Heads up, spoilers on the way. Check the description, see if you're safe to listen.
Tokyo Mew Mew new, more like Tokyo Mew Mew Pew. Because this show fucking stank. Sucked ass. Garbage show.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We watched Tokyo Mew Mew, the second one.
Yeah.
The new one. The one that is about new Mews. It's worse. There's no reason to watch this one over the original series. It doesn't look better. It's less charming. The characters suck. It's bad. It's not good.
This Tokyo Mew Mew new and Tokyo Mew Mew original, in both its English and dub form, is something that I think is kind of an anomaly for us. We originally watched, basically the first 11 episodes of the original anime, which was spun off the manga. That was a quarter of that full thing, basically. Essentially first core of that, right? And we compared those two at the time and found out wow, we like some parts of the dub actually a little more than the sub and so on and so forth. And somehow that gave us the gall to feel like we're an authority on what Tokyo Mew Mew new ought to be.
We are the only anime podcast talking about it. I guarantee you don't see Trash Taste doing anything on this. You don't see Mother's Basement or whatever weeaboo nonsense. They're talking about the new hotness that came out, like the 15th season of Dragon Ball or Boruto or Black Clover, right?
And if anyone is talking about it, don't tell us. We don't care.
Or Attack on Titan Season 3, Part 3.
2.
The final. Some nonsense, right?
Look, I just... You know how there's, the concept of a fake fan? It's
fake fan?
You're a fake fan. You're you say you like it, or you support it or whatever, but you don't actually know about it, or you haven't actually watched it or something, right? Are we, when it comes to us, Tokyo Mew Mew, are we the realest fake fans of it, or are we the fakest real fans of Tokyo Mew Mew?
I think we're the realest fake fans. We've never seen the original show all the way through.
It's true.
I can't tell you shit about it. But we've watched a lot of it, and we did the wiki dive, which was fun.
Mm-hmm.
We've read the wiki. It's like when you want to know about a horror movie, but you're too scared to watch it, so you just go on the Wikipedia page.
Dude, I'm so scared of Tokyo Mew Mew.
Yeah, same. So Tokyo Mew Mew new came out this year, I think.
Well, not anymore. We're in 2023 now, baby. Sure doesn't feel like it.
I love 2023. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. I'm detecting a little bit of sarcasm.
But we watched it while we were watching
other better things.
We were watching Yurei Deco, we were watching Lycoris Recoil, we were watching so much stuff. And we watched this show. And it was it quite possibly was the worst show we were watching out at the time.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, we're watching 3 things at once, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? But comparatively, it was definitely the bottom rung of our cycle for a while. It's interesting that I feel so impassioned to call out Tokyo Mew Mew new as not being enough like the old one, when that's something I normally am not in that camp of wanting it to be just regurgitate the same thing over and over again. But it does confuse me somewhat So if you don't know, it's a retelling of Tokyo Mew Mew,
which is a retelling of some Japanese ancient literature, right?
What is it?
No, I'm fucking with you.
God damn it! I'm trying to get somewhere with this. So it's about a team of magical girls who are imbued with the DNA of endangered animals, and they have to protect the Earth from this invading alien force of twinks as they try to use parasite anima to like use the Earth's animals to fight back against humanity, and essentially I think their end game is to like colonize the planet. I don't remember across both of the series. I don't think we ever got far enough to like ever. No, that's not true. We didn't care enough to remember.
Their end game is to be bastards and kiss girls.
Yeah.
That's it. They came because they wanted to get them smooches.
Yeah. And they sure do. Look, so I remember when this was getting spun up, there was a lot of hype, at least in my little sphere of the internet, about like, oh, they're gonna be more like the manga, like they're gonna be more accurate to like the original original media. And
I believe it was originally called Tokyo Mew Mew Brotherhood.
It's good one, Grant. It comes out, and I'm surprised to see that it's. I guess I kind of expected that, like, if this was going to be sort of more manga analogous, at least, then it would be taking its time, and that like we'd get maybe some more things in depth. It's your new shot at it, right? But no, in fact, it's not really a Brotherhood adaptation in that sense, right? Instead, it goes faster than the original series, as if to say, yeah, you know this shit. We're just gonna speed this up, right? Like, okay, we're gonna get all the characters in here as fast as we can, literally see everybody episode 1, and then we're gonna move on from there. Which actually is almost a little bit like the English dub originally, because they had cut like one of the later episodes in as episode 1, so that the pilot basically would be, hey, look, it's all the Mew Mews, and then they started sort of from the first episode as episode number 2. We kind of get the same effect here. That the show starts, you get a glimpse of all the major characters before they actually start partaking in the story, and even then it's like episode 4, and then we're already like kind of caught up to speed on every member of the cast, which the original show took its time a little more than that. So it's a weird one, right? Like it is a retelling, but it's not going deeper. It's almost rushing itself. That doesn't mean it's a total wash, right? I do think there's things that this adaptation does better, but I think that there's plenty that it also just does not do as well, or certainly didn't capture my interest in the same way that the first one did, says the fake fan.
Fake fan.
So I think instead of doing a plot synopsis of this, because clearly like
they didn't give a shit.
They
didn't give a shit about taking their time and writing things. They just went for it. They just decided it's time to go really fast, and so we're gonna be speed running Tokyo Mew Mew New. Mm-hmm. Any percent.
Yeah. Additionally too, like that's not done right. They are going to do a second season of this. I don't know if we'll review it. Maybe if we're suckers enough. But
if this here, I'll point to the fucking stands, because I pointed to the stands in our first show. If this gets a comment about wanting to hear our opinions of the second season, if someone is like, hey, I would really like to hear these two motherfuckers who barely know what Tokyo Mew Mew is. If people want us to do that, I will give them the credit where credit is due. I'll do it.
Yep, we'll go through with it.
But you gotta leave a comment, and it's gotta be really nice. You gotta compliment me. You gotta compliment me on the sound quality of my mic specifically.
What are we fucking making like passcodes now to like like if you say the magic words, then you'll unlock a new episode of Familiar Territory.
If you say the magic words, and the magic word is please, I'll do most things.
So look, we're not going to do a plot synopsis this time, because frankly we wouldn't do it justice, and I don't know that this show can even do its own plot justice, right? Like it's about endangered animals for a very small portion of the show, and quickly just becomes sort of a monster of the week thing. They rush through all the parasite anima and eventually get into like Mew Aqua as like the MacGuffin, and
I will say in episode 1, Ayama-kun says that like humanity will pay for their sins, and it's raw as hell.
Yeah, that was maybe the one like shining hope we had for this going in. I was really excited about that.
And they also when they do say that in this show, I think the number of endangered animals has gone up by a significant amount.
Oh god,
than what it was in the first show, which is very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Because they made the original show to hopefully shine light on the problematic elements of capitalism and pollution, and it got worse.
Yeah.
Very sad.
It is kind of ironic that the original manga was centered on that, at least as like the premise, right? Like, oh, endangered animals, we need to, protect the earth and that sort of thing. And it, obviously as a media property on its own, it couldn't succeed on that just, solo. And then the problem like was exacerbated by an order of magnitude. But now that we're here, they still
Brantley, are you telling me that Tokyo Mew Mew could not save the planet by itself?
Yes. In fact, I am.
Are you telling me that all the problems in the world cannot be traced back to Tokyo Mew Mew not trying hard enough?
No, I'd say that maybe that some amount of like litigation and maybe arson would have to happen for Tokyo Mew Mew.
And are you telling me that Tokyo Mew Mew can't do that?
No, Tokyo Mew Mew is a TV show, but the people who made it...
If the Mews did exist, there would be a lot more arson. There'd be a lot more environmental terrorism happening because superpowered girls are doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They probably played Final Fantasy VII on their PlayStations.
Everyone played Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. So it is though disappointing that like it does sort of forget about the whole endangered animals thing. Occasionally it'll bring it back up, and like I couldn't measure it, but they might actually do more of that in New compared to the original series. There is an episode where Lettuce is getting in touch with like some porpoises because it's her porpoise. And she saves the day that way, but like again, it's like really small bits and pieces, right?
Did you just make a pun?
So let's talk about characters.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, so fuck the plot. What I think I care most about is how the characters have changed from the original series. So we'll start with the beginning. Ichigo. What do you think of Ichigo in this series?
She's okay. She's fine. Honestly. Like, gonna be real, she's fine. Because here's why I think she's fine. She still sucks the same amount that she did in the original, which is where she's just kind of like simping over Aoyama-kun. Despite the fact that Aoyama-kun also sucks, right? Like he's terrible in this one. But like I'm trying to think of a time where I was watching it and I'm like, man, Ichigo is such a strong character. She cries all the time, which is fine. Sailor Moon cries all the time. But she doesn't cry about everything, just like Aoyama-kun.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, ah, man, I got kissed. It's not good. I think she is way more boy focused than she was previously. And I think that she is not nearly as charming. And it might just be because the world is less charming. But that's how I feel it. What do you think about Ichigo?
Yeah, I think she was nerfed. Like, there's a lot that's the same. But it is disappointing that, like, she's not as much of, like, a funny girl in this one. I feel like the slapstick and, like her awkwardness was better executed in the original anime. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned this. Neither of us have read the manga either. Like, none of it, so please don't ask. Again,
we are fake fans. We are the realest fake fans. We care a lot about it and know nothing about it.
Yeah, except that maybe it might have been the progenitor of maid cafes.
That was pretty cool.
We're still. You know what? We're still waiting to be proven wrong on that. So, if anyone can prove to us that maid cafes existed in some form before Tokyo Mew Mew did it, then we want to know, because at this point it's one of like the most foundational things we've discovered as part of our quote unquote research here on Familiar Territory. God, I would love to see that story broken open further and further. But yeah, Ichigo, she's not as funny in this. Like,
she's not funny.
I think maybe it's less silly, right? Like, the show has a more consistent mood, so there's less of these like goofy spikes, I think. At least that's the feeling I got. But I miss that. Like, I miss the antics, being a little more all over the place. I miss her being a goofball. She spends it seems like more of the focus was put on some dramatic elements. And I'm probably going to say these same complaints against some other characters too. I also hate that they removed some of her agency as a character. One of the things we really liked about Tokyo Mew Mew original is that, like, she just went out with Aoyama, like, episode 1,
Episode 1, she saw a boy. She's like, I want to date that boy. I want to get the smooches.
Mm-hmm.
And she went for it.
Yeah.
Also, in the original series, Ichigo was like, hey, I care about animals. Yama-kun cares about animals. We should go on an animal date.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a found shared interest that Ichigo had.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's just Mew Mint playing matchmaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Mint deciding, hey, here are some tickets. If you take this boy to here, he will love you. And she did.
Hey, what odds do you want to put on this, that this is some kind of, like, time loop situation?
Zero odds. This is not
Really? I'd give it, like, 10%. Like, because Mew Mint is already in on it, right? From the get-go. And then, like, she's working with Red Data and everything, and they're like, and we're going really fast, right? And it's called Tokyo Mew Mew New. I'm just saying, maybe they're gonna rebuild. I don't know. 10%. That's my bet. My 10 on your 0. We'll see who comes out on top.
All right.
But of course, we're not gonna watch second season unless we get a comment. So
yeah,
it's on.
100%. It's on. Okay, so
yeah, I miss when Ichigo was a
worse.
go-getter. Yeah. It seems like time after time, her chances to sort of be the one to take the initiative get taken away from her, and she's just sort of like a victim of the plot. Things happen to her. That's boring. Any other notes on Ichigo?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. Her voice acting, like everyone goes hard at voice acting in this. They're all good.
Yeah.
I think they go as hard as they should. Right? They put in the work they need to.
Yeah. I think I'm still preferential to the originals, but fair. I would say listen to Grant on this one.
Or don't. Then do we go into Mew Mint?
Let's do Mint.
Mint. She's gayer in this one, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I don't know if she's gayer, but the show shows her. It's once again plausible deniability. We don't know. It could just be that she really respects Zakuro, but
yeah, if there's one thing they didn't rush in this show, it's the amount of time they spend between Mint and Zakuro, and like them, like sort of like, bonding, or at least like building trust.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like 2 whole episodes that are just dedicated to getting Zakuro on the team, which compared to the other Mews who usually get 1 episode, and like, in the original series they would have breaks where it's like, oh, we're just gonna be with like, 3 of them or 4 of them for now, and then Zakuro's gonna pop up a little later. Like they got straight to Zakuro and they gave her time. And there's more explicit content of you just seeing Mint like fawning over Zakuro and stuff. The Volume 3 Blu-ray has them like doing the little like hand hearts with each other, I think. Like, here's Mint, here's Zakuro, we know and you know, so there's that. And I'm greedy for this. I wish they did more. Pull the fucking trigger, right? Like, just
right.
Do it.
But they can't. They can't.
I
because
know.
the show can't do that. That's not okay. That's the leftist media trying to tell you what's okay, Brantley. The show about saving the environment.
Sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's not. It would make their characters more interesting.
I don't want to sound entitled, right? Because they clearly put more time into that, and that's something that a lot of people, I think, care about. I mean, we certainly like popped off when anything happened in the original series that would hint that Mint was it. I mean, hell, there was the bit where they changed Mint's little dream sequence in the English dub and accidentally made it seem more gay. We thought that was the best thing in the world, right? That's hilarious.
It's funny.
So like, yeah, I should check my expectations at the door, but like, there's something that doesn't feel real about it. I felt nothing. I just like, I acknowledge it. It's like, yeah, you sure check the boxes, but like you said, it's so plausibly deniable. That's just, it's just idolship or whatever. Maybe I just need to settle for less, Grant. Also a little trivia, I guess, about Mint. I noticed, like, how she has her little tiny bow?
Yeah.
It's like a little handheld bow. I only realized recently that, like, she's not the only magical girl who has a little, like, tiny, like, toy bow like that. There was also Magical Angel Sweet Mint, who's, like,
interesting.
I think, like, 80s or 90s. And she has a little bow just like that. Like, it's like, and when they show it...
And her name is Mint.
Yeah. It could be, like, I'm purely speculating. I didn't research whether there's, like, any relationship there. But Tokyo Mew Mew definitely came after Magical Angel Sweet Mint.
But before Maid Cafes.
And if there is a connection there, how interesting. Oh, and congrats to Mint for getting an upgrade, because her bow actually gets like full size this time, and she has like bigger wings, I think. So
yeah,
good for her.
Mint's design is better, although her little bobs on her hair are part of her transformation sequence, which is fucking hilarious. So like she doesn't have them when she's in regular person form, but she does have them when she's in magical girl form, and they pop on, and it's very funny.
It's like Azumanga Daioh.
Yeah. And then she also has a couple more episodes about her and her family, which are good, about like going to America to study. And that part's fun. That part's something.
Yeah, like I'll give it to them. It feels like they did try to fit in more of like the characters' interpersonal drama and stories, like background wise. It just so happens that I'm kind of, bored by those things, but I have to give them credit. They did try that, and I think that's probably why they rushed some of the other elements, like, villain of the week stuff and that sort of thing.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say about Mint.
Let's talk about Lettuce.
Lettuce is terrible. Lettuce was a nothing character in the first one. She's a nothing character in this one.
They did give her an underhanded toss. She got her own like episode that we did get her own episode in the first core. It could be that they always had it and we just didn't get there that far before, but they have an episode where only she can save the day.
Because she doesn't know how to swim, but she's a dolphin or a porpoise. And so now she can swim. And she saves all of Wuling's brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She does something. She's a character.
Mm-hmm. There is sort of a feeling that it's like, what's the word? Like, it's like a concession. Like, okay, we'll give Lettuce something.
She gets one. But it's fine. It's fine. She's still a nerd. She still gets bullied for being a nerd, which translates a little less in the modern era, just because most people are pretty proud of being passionate about dorky interests nowadays.
Mm-hmm. At the very least, she's still a pushover, and I think that's kind of like
that's
part
more
of it. But
well, she's a pushover because she is a nerd. They deserve to be stomped on.
I do think it's funny. You go.
No, I'm just going to go on a stupid rant.
Do it.
It's not funny. No, it's not funny.
I can always cut it.
Nope. Go.
Okay. I do think it's weird that they still her like introduction as a Mew is by doing a weird haunted house kind of thing that ends up in a pool. Just, like that whole shtick is just a little weird for Lettuce, but I wish they would at least like lean into that more. Like if she was kind of like also a little creepy, like or like a little alternative or something, then that might be funny. But usually she's just kind of bland. She's not exactly clumsier than Ichigo. She's not pompous like Mint. She's not like cool and competent like Zakuro or or even Buding for that matter. But Lettuce is just kind of the gray matter in between all the other characters.
Yeah, she's boring. Like, and the thing is you can have the brains be interesting. I mean, look how popular Sailor Mercury is. Everyone loves Sailor Mercury, and they gave her cool little goggles.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that with Lettuce.
Yeah. Wait, did they give her like? Is she like the only one who can like attune to the Mew Aqua and can find it?
Probably. I don't remember.
Fuck, I'm exposing myself on recording. You know what? Sorry, Lettuce.
I think it just so happens that she can swim.
Yeah. I don't remember if like it was just the one time she finds like the Mew Aqua that first time, or if it's like something like she has like the porpoise sonar that like she can...
Porpoise sonar. You know, it might be. It might be something like that.
Maybe I'm just inventing fan fiction right now as we're going. Booting.
She's fun. She looks better. I think the fact that in the original one she was basically always in like her like traditional like outfit. It was like, sure, she's a performer. I get that, but also they're going to do some regular stuff. Why? I will say the costume design is a lot better in this one.
Yeah.
They just look a lot. Their traditional outfits look better.
Yeah, there's some looks on Zakuro like I'm like, I should take notes, you know, like.
Yeah, the costume design's really good. Booling's fine. She's you know, she's fun still. Mm-hmm. She still is the young kind of spontaneous hyperactive one. Mm-hmm. But it's still fun, right? It's still fun to watch, and seeing her do all her strange acrobatics for random reasons doesn't get old for me. I think it's funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but she doesn't have much drama though in this one.
Yeah, I found that so weird. Like, there's definitely a bigger focus on melodrama in this adaptation, especially with like Zakuro and Mint, and even Lettuce has a bit of that like angst, you know, in her episode, and so for them to not capitalize on that with Buding and her family and everything is weird. Like, her family shows up, but they really don't. It's like, you know, she doesn't get that sort of like heavier backstory like some of the other characters do.
Right.
She's just happy-go-lucky. She's just her. Everyone in her family's just kind of yay, happy, fun times.
Yeah, she's not an orphan who's homeless like in the dub.
Yeah. I you know, sometimes I have to stop and consider my words very carefully.
Well, what's funny in the dub is that they introduce her as homeless, and then like later her family exists.
Well, I mean, she could be homeless but still have a family, right? But like, because like if they're traveling, you know, if they're sort of nomadic,
yeah, that's
in that
fair.
sense,
That's
then...
well, I think they call her like an orphan though.
Did they? I don't remember. See, we're the fakest fans. The realist fake fans.
Realist fake fans.
Realist
hashtag.
fakest fans.
Hashtag.
Zakuro.
She is way more bitchy. I don't mean to be mean about it, but like when she first comes to be a Mew Mew and she kicks ass, all the rest of the Mews are like, "Hey, you should come help us." She's like, "No, I don't. I work alone." It's like, why?
Well, I mean, like, do you remember what it was like to be like a middle schooler or a high schooler, and like you're already like forming like what you think is a coherent thought of what is and is not cringe, quote unquote.
Yeah, but if I got superpowers and then a bunch of people with the same superpowers showed up, I wouldn't be like, I don't want to be your friends. You're nothing.
But she watches them and they're all so fail, Grant.
They are in their flop era, that is for sure.
And
that's fair.
Yeah. But I do agree. She takes a lot more work to kind of get integrated into the show, and it was kind of grating on my nerves. Again, they're trying something, right? But at some point it's just like exhausting. It's like just get in the group. We know what's gonna happen. You're in the intro. Like, just join up. Just do it. Yeah, it's not entirely unrealistic, right? But for the sake of the pacing of the show, it's it felt unnecessarily difficult to get her to join up with their little, like, you know,
superhero
squad.
posse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If it was the start of an episode and it got solved by the end of the episode, I think I would be a little bit more okay with it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it takes literally 2 episodes, right?
2 whole episodes, yeah.
2 whole episodes to finally come to the conclusion that she should join, when every other introduction character, they were introduced, they had their plot, and then it disappeared, right? And they were in the team. I would have been fine with it, but it takes so long.
Yeah.
So
long. Also, I did go back and look it up. Yeah, on the Blu-ray, the 3rd Blu-ray cover, it's Mint and Zakuro, and they're doing a hand heart together, and like, Mint has her left hand on Zakuro's right shoulder, and Zakuro's got her, hand on, like up against, Mint's back, like on her shoulder blade, like, come on. Don't give us that Blu-ray cover form. Put that shit in the show. God damn it. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's cute. Just commit. Fuck.
Yeah, it's unfortunately the reality that is most media, right? Yeah. Cowardness. Most media, they're not gonna do it, and it sucks, but. Because, like, it's not like they're not afraid to show romance. They have Ichigo and Aoyama
smooch episode 1.
Snog in episode 1. Yeah, they get the smooches instantly.
Yeah, they have that Naruto and Sasuke kiss.
Yeah, they do.
But not
that's
gay.
Important.
It's not gay,
yeah,
everybody.
Not gay. But yeah, I would have been like a little. I would have been open for that. And other than that, Zakuro just is the cool girl. It is funny because when she does join the Mew Cafe, she's just telling people what they want, and they're like, "Okay, sure." And I thought that was fun.
Yeah. Well, now that we've wrapped up kind of the Mew crew, I do want to give a general note across all of them. Their new outfits for their, like, transformations. I think it's like it's a step forward and a step back, kinda. One thing, like, there's definitely some of them that have improved. Grant, when you get a chance, go look up, like, just the original outfits. I think you'll like notice that, like, oh wow, some of these don't look great.
Oh no, they don't. They look like,
yeah, they're less standardized, which I liked, but some of them are a little, like, just tacky. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like everyone is in a circus.
In reality, only one of them is.
And yeah, like I don't like Lettuce's leotard thing. I think it just looks bad.
Let us keep on losing, girl. You got this.
Mince looks like legitimate trash.
Zakuro's outfit is so much more under-designed than I remember it being. She looks like she's a perfect candidate for a how to draw manga book cover.
She is. Actually, that's the thing. All of them look like
Yeah, it's that era. Worst, though, is that fucking when Ichigo transforms now, she keeps her hair color. That upsets me so much. Not because frankly, her getting pink hair was an exception. Like, that shit should not have flown on some technical level. But the reason I have beef with it is because Aoyama is so fucking stupid.
He's so dumb.
Her hair doesn't change colors in this one, and he still doesn't fucking know that it's her.
He's sucks in this show. In
Do you
this
wanna
show,
jump
he is. Yeah, let's just go straight to him. He is the hottest garbage in this show. He is too fucking stupid to function, but he's also not nice. So he doesn't have himbo energy because he's just not a nice dude. But he's such an idiot that you can't help but just get frustrated. There is a part in Tokyo Mew Mew New where they're doing the whole we are Mew Mews, we are existing, and they have them, the Mew Mews, go in. Not Mew Mew, sorry. Let me back this up. I was a little confused. I was thinking of the part with the bees. I'm thinking of another part. There's a part where Ichigo transforms and Aoyama doesn't know where she is. And so he finds like a cat that's dying. And the dying cat has a bell on it. And he takes the collar when the cat leaves, and then Ichigo, after all of the whack shit that happens, it comes back and is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was so scared." And Aoyama just takes the collar and puts it on her, and he's like, "Well, now you can never leave because I'll be able to know where you're at." And it's so freaky. It's so weird.
I think I screamed when that happened. It's just immediately one of those like it's just visceral. It just overtakes you. Like it's just like no, oh no, no. You know, it's just like
it's bad.
It's fight
really
or flight
bad.
On site. It's kind of like it's gag, man. Like Aoyama went from like boring, but at least like a safe, secure option as the main hero. It's just a weirdo. Like
he's so strange. He's such a bizarre person. And he's so unlikable.
Yeah, that's the big part of it, right? Like, on one hand, it's funny that he's a freak, you know, but only up to the point where it dawns on you that like no, don't do that.
It's a little
man.
problematic.
Yeah, like don't put a collar on your girlfriend and tell her that like you're gonna like not lose her anymore because like that's weird and possessive. Like I don't like that at all.
Right. And there's also the part. So there's the part with the bees where Ichigo is deciding whether or not she should transform in Aoyama to save him.
And she is so sure. Like she's like, if I transform now, he will know.
And she does, like right in front of him. It's not even like. It's not even. It's just like straight up, right? It happens, and then he afterwards he's like, "Wow, that girl looked a lot like you," and she's like, "Oh, he doesn't know. Okay, good." And then it ends. It's very funny.
Girl, I can name at least 2 other people you should hook up with instead.
It's so bad.
And all before this, like you mentioned, they're on TV broadcast as the Mew Mew crew. And he sees them and he's asking people, he's like, "Hey, this girl, that looks like Ichigo.
Is it Ichigo?" And he could be playing dumb, or he is.
I think
dumb.
he's just dumb.
Right. It's so funny. It's so funny how bad it is, and like he like yells at Ichigo for like a few times.
Yeah, he gets aggressive with her. It's not good. It's not cool. It's bad.
And it's not even like I was so worried about you, right? Like it's not like you scared me. He like grabs her and is like, you can't run off or else I get scared.
Yeah, he like makes it her problem. It's like weird levels of like victim blaming almost. Like
Yeah,
you got you're in a scenario where the place is getting attacked, and you haven't developed a pattern recognition to realize that maybe you're in the wrong place at the wrong time for a reason.
A little too often.
And also, the girl who saves the day looks a little too much like the girl you're hanging out with. But also, you're making it her problem. Like, what the fuck? Jesus.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre, and it's just not okay.
It's full tilt creep. Like, ugh.
And I think that's where we kind of run into this problem where I think the new one just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I'm all for melodrama, right? If there's some trashy melodrama thing, sometimes it's fun. This tries too hard to have that melodrama, but without the added humor and slapstick, it's not as fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a sadder show. It's just in a place where it's not that fun to watch. You know, you aren't gonna walk out of it thinking like, well, at least I had a goofy fun time. It is kind of a crapshoot on what episodes you're going to enjoy, I think. Yeah. So Aoyama was just a total character assassination in my opinion.
Yes, 100%.
If any of the girls that show up to his kendo practice saw the way he treats Ichigo, I swear to God they'd just drop him. But you know,
he's on that Sigma male grind set. That's what we don't understand. He's just trying to. He understands what women want.
Unreal levels of cognitive dissonance in this boy.
Terrible human being.
Oh, by the way, side girlies get a little bit more attention. They show up at least a little bit more frequently, I think, than the original series. I still don't know their names, but
yeah, it's Sarah and Betsy. Took me a long time to think of a second.
It took you a long time to lie
name.
there. Let's see. I don't think I have a lot to say about the Cafe Mew / Red Data, heads here, Rio and
they're
Kiichiro.
the same. They're both a little creepy, and I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't like Rio's like belt that's attached to his jacket, but he still didn't buckle it.
Right. It looks bad.
I don't like it.
He looks like he's going to over-explain the mech that he pilots. He doesn't look like a magical girl character. He looks like he looks like he belongs in a different genre of anime.
Yeah, and we don't even get to hear him voiced by Goku. So
yeah. Hey, it's me,
sad.
Goku. And Johnny Tremaine is back. He has the ponytail.
Yeah. I want to say that they involved Kiichiro a little bit more, but that could just be like my memories being fabricated, because I couldn't tell you what it was he did. He might have talked to like Lettuce or Ichigo at some point. I don't know. But then again, there's also things that I thought didn't happen, but definitely did happen before. Like I thought that the pillow fight that they have at Mint's mansion was new, but they definitely did that in the original season. You had to remind me. So I am fighting uphill to like drudge up memories of this show.
It's pretty good.
Quiche. Let's talk about Quiche.
He's worse.
Yeah. Kish. According to the subtitles. Thanks, HIDIVE. Actually, no, like hatred against the subtitlers and the translators. Like, I know it's a shit job. Probably doesn't get paid well enough. You deserve better. But it was a funny result that his name is spelled Kish, Kish. So Quiche.
Instead of Quiche. Yeah, it's funny.
Quiche doesn't get to take the first kiss anymore. They stole that plot point from him and gave it to Aoyama instead. It's not even good.
You know what? The time travel is actually Aoyama going back to make sure that Quiche doesn't get to do that.
He's so jealous as fuck. That's why he's so possessive. He's so fucking jealous. Just from that, he went fucking fury mode over not getting that first kiss on his girlfriend.
He started following men's right activist stuff on Instagram and was just like, yeah, the women are the problem.
Oh
and then
God.
He reset the timeline.
Yeah.
Mint's brother is okay.
Yeah.
He exists. He's a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I think Mint's extra character stuff, I think, is the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The best stuff.
I think Rio and Quiche, relatively speaking, are in a weirder place now because they used to be sort of Ichigo's foils, while Aoyama was just her safe choice, right? Aoyama's just a nice person, and she just kind of gets along with him. They have shared interests. It's an uncontroversial person to be, dating.
Right.
Oh, I didn't mention. They should definitely consider themselves dating, and they don't forever. And it's just fuck, why?
You've kissed. You keep hanging out with each other.
You're literally calling it we're gonna go on a date, but it's they're not boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever. Anyway, it might be a shoujo
they haven't
thing.
Confessed.
Yeah,
Right.
Clearly I need to watch more shoujo in my life. I have a grasp on it, but only a one finger, clinging on for dear life kind of grasp. I get that in shoujo it's a big thing to have the bad boy option, and there are some cases where it's they all kind of seem like the bad boy at first. Hana Yoridango is one of the most popular shoujos out there from what I know, and that's the premise is there's these 4 douchebags and this girl stands up to them, and then I think they end up sort of being in this it's oh, who's she gonna pick kind of thing. I only watched one episode, but it started strong on that, right? It can be done, but wow, it's a weird kind of thing when Aoyama has now stepped up to the plate in that aspect, and he's not the fun kind of bad boy. He's just bad at being a boyfriend.
Yeah, he's just a dickhead.
Yeah, Ryo was kind of the tsundere type before, where he's Ichigo, you're an idiot, but I care about you, but he's just a little more bland this time. Or maybe I'm just used to it and it feels played out. I don't know. But they are they had some compromising situations before where it's oh, you walk in on Ryo and he's shirtless and it's whoa. But I think they had more of them in this season. I don't know. Quiche is also not great. I think I've there was the first kiss thing in the original season, but in this season it felt more like he was just this serial sexual harasser. I don't know if you got that vibe.
Yeah, he wasn't as playful, and I think one of the things about in the original series there was kind of a allure to this man, this space alien that kept that kept things interesting for Ichigo, right? But then in the rest of it, in this one, he's just kind of a dickhead too. It's they forgot how to write characters that are nice, and maybe a little bit of a jerk. And they're just everyone's gonna be a huge fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
No more Mr. Nice Person.
I think a good point of comparison is that when Quiche kisses / tries to kiss Ichigo in the original anime, she gets she fights back. She's what the fuck? Get off me. In this show she just traumatizes her. She just gets freaked out. It's oh, that's unsettling.
I will say it is kind of funny, and I don't say that in a demeaning way, but when she does get kissed in this one, she just starts crying right away. And it is a little silly looking.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like she's upset at like something very, very minor.
Yeah, there's a lot
And
of little
it just,
uncanny things like that.
And it like lingers on her face for a little too long.
Yeah. Oh, can I know we just keep coming back to Aoyama, but the only thing
he's the worst. He single-handedly is taking down this show.
Vile little boy. Like it's weird enough that he put the collar on her without asking or anything, but then the fact that he sees her still wearing it later and he like points to it, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, he's so creepy in this one.
It's upsetting.
He's really bad.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's really. I know that they introduced the other villain characters earlier on as well. They fit in
Bart,
which you're never gonna let you live that down. The days of Tarb are past. Brat.
The days of Tarb sound like a like an album.
Sequel to The Life of Pi. Speaking of which, Pi also shows up and he takes a bigger role.
Yeah, that's the ones. That's the names.
But they're boring. I don't care about them. I couldn't tell you anything. Like, I think Tart had like sort of like the scrappy young one thing going for him a little bit, but like they don't really do anything with it.
Yeah,
it's just kind of boring.
They're not fun.
Yeah. Let's see. General notes. What do you think of the opening?
That's the I can only think of the ending right now.
Then let's you know what? Let's fuck it. The whatever. Who cares about the opening? The ending is so good.
Yeah. No. The ending is one of the best things about the show. It's very cute. Hold on. Oh no, I remember it because it's Cat Shita Super Girls. Yeah, I remember it. Yay! Yeah, no, I remember it. It's not great. Is
it the opening or the ending that has a hand of cards and it's 5 aces?
It's the beginning.
Okay, yeah.
And they don't have 5 aces because Sakuro's not an ace. She's like a 9 or something.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's all
you don't see Zakuro's card. It's like off to the side.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
But the ending is better. The ending theme is catchy. It's so fun.
It's super silly.
It has the energy that I wish the actual show had, you know?
Yeah. The parts where they're like dancing and all the characters do their little jig, mm-hmm. and it's all different.
Booning's doing the monkey, and like Mint is doing her like ballet
stuff. Yeah,
it's so cute.
And they're all like little chibis, and like it's fun. It's really fun. Mm-hmm. It has a lot of good energy, and it makes me feel like they did it. That it's the best part. It's the best part of the show.
Yeah, it does exactly what I wish a renewed version of Tokyo Mew Mew would do. So at least we got that.
And it's called like Sunrise Infinity or something. Mm-hmm. It's very fun. But yeah, I think it's worse. I don't think there's any reason to watch it over the original series.
Yeah. I would say
besides
so.
Maybe some better visuals. It's the character designs are better in the new one. But it is so less charming in almost every way.
Some people might say, "Oh, well, the plot moves faster. It cuts out a lot of padding." But I also would argue you're here for the plot.
Kind of fun. Yeah, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Themes. Like I've already said before, they drop any like save the animals' edutainment almost immediately, which is kind of a bummer. I think that they really like, cause they start strong, right? They come out the gate swinging with like the whole like, hey, this shit's bad. I just wish that they cared and committed to that. You know, if that would mean diverging from the manga / whatever, right? Like, then I would say do it, because that would be like, you know, the one unique thing it would have going for it. I really feel. I guess if I want to stretch out a hand of good faith, you could argue that there's some cases where the girl's character flaws sort of like are emblematic of like vulnerability in survival. So like, you know, Mint and Zakuro are like standoffish. Lettuce, you know, tolerates a lot of abuse. Maybe there's like something larger to say about like you know, endangerment and taking responsibility and standing up for yourself or protecting others, or, you know, that kind of thing, cohabitation, whatever. But that's a big reach. Yeah, and the whole thing is all premised, like you mentioned before. Aoyama just says like, humans did this, we fucked this up. And so for the plot to be like, it's aliens are fucking it up, it's like hold the fucking phone, we have to do our shit first. Like, let us attack like 10 very rich people, then you can have your alien attack. Just give us this moment. You know, like, it feels misaimed that that it's a show about, you know, what humans have done to the earth, and yet humans aren't actually the villain of the show. It's just aliens, cause whatever.
Yeah. I think it's kind of toothless writing. They can point out the problem, but they don't actually want to write about how to solve it. Not even in like a fantastical way. Not even like a Captain Planet kind of way, which is a bummer. It's really good. It is. I just think that Tokyo Mew Mew figured it out, and I think all anime should really learn from it.
Okay, well then here I have a hypothetical for you if you want to start with those.
Cool. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
So, let's say that in the same vein as Tokyo Mew Mew New and Sailor Moon Crystal, you gotta choose an anime to remake. But you have a secret intent to produce something so accurate, yet so bland, that it kills the nostalgia for the original with it.
Ooh.
Now, okay, it doesn't have to be an older show. If you want to just pick something that's recent, that's also okay. Like, it would be like years down the line, right? You make the revival that ends up making everyone actually dislike it in retrospect. What do you want?
Someone already did that with Naruto, so I can't pick that.
Well, pick something else.
I know. Let me think.
That's 2 Naruto mentioned in this episode. I think Naruto might be the one thing that we mention most off topic on familiar territory.
It's so universal.
Yeah, everyone's been to that fucking swing. Grant, we're all the same. Just like Naruto says. We're just brothers who kill people sometimes.
I'm trying to think of, like...
We're all political enemies. We're all enemies of the state, Grant.
That's true. Oh, fuck. What?
Do you want me to go first, what you can think?
Yeah.
Okay. I would want to do the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Oh, you hate Suzumiya. You think it's awful.
When did I ever say that?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. But it doesn't mean a lot to me, right? It certainly made its place in history. But mostly
more like herstory, right?
Yeah. #feminism. The reason why I would want to remake it is mostly because I would want to see people scrambling to figure out what they liked so much about the original in the first place.
Would you do the Endless 8?
Yes, but I would want to do it again because everyone would know, right? Like,
Right.
even, like, as soon as it would hit, everyone would be like, guys, we're entering the Endless Eight. But unlike the mystique of the original, where you didn't know how long they were gonna go on with that shtick, you know, alright, it's gonna be 8 episodes, 8 weeks of the same thing, and I just have to wait.
You would, and the best part is you'd make it 9.
Oh my god. And then the if they did a recap episode, I would make sure that each version of it would get recapped. No, okay, you know what? I would do the Endless 9 and then the recap episode after, so it's actually like 10 episodes wasted. Okay, did you come up with something?
Yeah, I did.
Hit me.
I would do Steins Gate. I would do Steins Gate. But I would do the different routes of the visual novel out of order. So it would jump between the different routes that you're supposed to take in the visual novel. Mm-hmm. And I would have no explanation. It would end in 12 episodes.
Oh.
Or I would make it, because it has to be accurate, right? It has to be accurate and bland.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I don't think Steins Gate's bad by any means. I think it's already kind of bland.
Would you say you think it's overrated?
I don't think it's overrated. Because, like, obviously everything's subjective, right? And some people watch it and they feel like it is incredible. It's just, to me, like, the only character that is actually a character in that show is Okabe, and every other character just exists to support Okabe.
Yeah, you've described a protagonist.
Yeah, but like what is Makise Kurisu's like agency outside of helping Okabe, right?
She had some research that she wanted to do with her regarding her father, I thought. And so, like, Okabe was, like, her rival in research, but also, like, perhaps the key to solving her research. I don't remember entirely.
I think Steins Gate's fine. I just think that, like, I would do it, and I would call it, like, Steins Gate Gamma, and it would be the most boring. I think it would just be the most boring example of Steins Gate.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
Or I would do Bleach again.
Just now it's got, you know what? I would love that, but only if you start the readaptation while the continuation has just now booted back up.
Oh, absolutely. I would either do or I would do Code Geass, but I would take out all the robots. I would call it Code Geass School Days, and it would just be them hanging out in school.
No, you know what would be great? Code Geass, but from the perspective of one of the school kids. So, like, but it's still on the same timeline as Code Geass, Sonic Adventure style, right? So you have these moments where it's like, oh no, a big event happened, but then everything settles just back into regular school things, and then it's like, oh no, there's a coup happening, and they hear about it on TV or whatever, but it's like you're not in the loop with Lelouch. And so then there's another, like, just like 10 to 13 episodes of nothing happening, and just, you know what? I'm explaining Yuki Yuna. Yuki Yuna does this.
Man.
Okay. But I love those ideas. I'm so in for them. Okay. Next hypothetical, if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, if there was a Tokyo Mew Mew PSA on drug use, who would be the one or ones peer pressuring? Who would be the ones peer pressured? And who would be the ones intervening?
So it would be Quiche, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quiche would be like trying to get Booling to smoke a jewel. and I am a cool would come in and tell Booling that it's her fault that she's making people think that she would like to take drugs. And he would be like, you can't make people think you like drugs, child. Drugs are super uncool, and you should never do them. And then he would go and smoke a jewel.
He takes it from her, confiscates it, and then uses it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you left Ichigo out entirely.
Because only women can't do drugs, but men can do drugs.
Hashtag feminism. Listen, men are the worst. Men are pigs. Let's kill them faster. Give your man a jewel. Hashtag feminism. Oh God. I also think he should do the peer pressuring, but I would say he'd be doing it to Lettuce, as the weakest link.
No, because Lettuce already smokes mad weed.
Because her hair is green?
Yeah.
Because her name is Devil's Lettuce?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly it.
You can assume that of her? What is, you just read her like a book cover? Grant, that's not very hashtag feminism of you. Come on. What are we about on this show? Fuck. I
Alright.
think... Sorry, I'm reading the rest of my notes. I forgot I wrote more of this. I wrote Mitt would take the first... Thinking...
Brantley, I'm just gonna let you know. You're laughing so hard. You're either laughing so hard that you're making your mic cut out, or you're doing that thing when you laugh and it's just like no noise because I can barely hear you.
It's both. Okay, hold on. Let me collect myself. Mint takes the first hit, thinking she would look cool for Zakuro, and then Ichigo would start reaching because she's thinking like about Aoyama and trying to impress him, but then Sakura and Aoyama would intervene, and then Buling would pop up at the end to do like the little final statements. Okay I'm fine. I'm a feminist.
Okay.
Hey, last one. Okay. Let's say Ryo and Keiichiro don't run Cafe Mew Mew. They run a Denny's. What's different?
Well, I mean, like, the characters would only work there at, like, 2 a.m. So they would all be really tired.
Hajimemashite.
And, like, they wouldn't wear, like, uniforms. Like, I know you're supposed to wear, like, a Denny's uniform, but, like, who gives a shit? You're at Denny's, right?
You can see their uniforms just like swung over the back of a chair in the background.
Right, and they're wearing like jeans and a t-shirt. and one of them's just wearing like a sweatpants and like a hoodie.
Lettuce is wearing marijuana paraphernalia.
Of course she is.
Listen, lesbians, give your girls some ganja. Hashtag feminism.
Hashtag feminism. Man. We're so good at this.
I think all the fights would take place inside the Denny's. And it would involve a significant amount of bloodshed and hair pulling. Also, all their super moves would be named Grand Slams.
Oh my god. I feel like they want to get anything done.
You mean at work or like the whole like beat the bad guys thing?
Nothing would get done. Ever. It's a Denny's. It is a... Actually, the thing is about Denny's is that when you go in there, time does stand still.
Yeah.
fucking rad. Don't watch the new Tokyo Mew Mew unless you have seen the original one, right? Like you can go and enjoy the like it, but if you're like looking for something that's actually fun to watch, Tokyo Mew Mew, the OG is much better.
Mm-hmm. Yo ho ho. Go steal the show.
What's next?
What's next? Yurei Deco, probably.
Yeah, we did it. We caught up on our backlog, and then we'll have to watch some other magical girl nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about Yurei Deco. Go watch Yurei Deco if you want. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about it in a couple weeks. If you want to listen to more of us talk, we stream way more consistently than we do this. You can watch us on Twitch, where we are playing Sonic Frontiers, and we're almost finished with it. And you can watch us finish that, and then we're gonna play Hero Hours Contract 2, which is an independent magical girl game that's a lot of fun. If it's anything like the first one, which I'm sure it is.
Yeah, the demo was promising. So
the demo was really fun. So I'm sure that Hero Hours Contract 2 is going to be even more fun. You can check us out on Twitter, I guess, where you can click the links. I tweet sometimes, not often. I just mostly use Twitter to watch Guilty Gear playthroughs. But yeah, do all those things, or you don't need to. We're not your dads.